Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy, Lavon Cason, back at it again with another video. So For Honor Next Gen support has been detailed, so it's gonna be, 4K 60 frames per second on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. It's going to be 1080p 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series S. That's right, you heard me right. 1080p 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series S. Not 1440p 60 frames per second, but 1080p 60 frames per second. Now, as you can see, it'll come out, in early December. That's when For Honor's next season launches. Owners of the current gen version of For Honor, they will see their profiles, including their purchases and inventory, and it will be automatically shared with the next gen version that you buy, from Xbox or PlayStation. Now, Ubisoft, as far as, cross progression for Honor for the next generation, that hasn't really been confirmed or anything like that. As far as, cross saves, cross progression for, PS5 or Xbox series of consoles. That has not been confirmed. But the fact that Ubisoft has announced that for the Xbox Series S, it'll be 1080p 60 frames per second. Now, I do wonder now, is this just going to be the only game, or will there be more games that'll target 1080p 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series S, opposed to, 1440p 60 frames per second? Because that is the question right there. Will this be the only game, or will there be more games? Now, this is just, cross-generation games and stuff like that. So, I wonder what's it going to be like for next-generation games. That is what I'm wondering. And also, too, as well, will The Witcher 3, when it comes out for the next-generation consoles, will that be 1080p 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series S? We gotta start asking these questions, people. Yes, the Series S is a next-gen console, but eventually at some point, it'll probably, run, next-gen games at potentially, 1080p or lower eventually, because, more stuff, engines get more intense and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Series S does. It's going to be really, really interesting, because that's a system that I am interested in the most, to see how it compares to the last generation of consoles and the next generation of consoles. Because if you want to be real, the Series S is really a middle ground, if you really think about it, comparing it to last gen and the next gen. Like, it's better than last gen, but not as good as, say, PS5 and Xbox Series X. Excuse me, sorry about the burp. But, yeah, it will be very, very interesting to see how the Series S compares to the last gen and the next gen. Let's see how these games run on that console. That is what I'm waiting for at this point. Because, you see people in the gaming community that say, the Series S is going to be, on par with the PS5 performance-wise. When it comes to people like that, I would say, let's wait and see for Digital Foundry. Let's wait and see for other people out there to compare the Series S and the PS5 and see how the Series S stacks up to the PS5. Stuff like that. So let's hope that those people are right, that the Series S can keep up with the PS5. Let's hope. Because as you can see, so far, with For Honor being, 1080p 60 frames per second, it's not looking too hot. It's not looking too hot. Now, the Series S, I think it'll run next generation games, but it'll run at last generation resolution, such as, 1080p, 900p, 720p, and stuff like that. So that don't bother me, but for people out there in the console war, that this is gonna be concerning for you guys. Definitely. So that's all I have to say on this topic. What do you guys think of For Honor, running 1080p, 60 frames per second on the Xbox Series S? Do you guys don't care about the idea? I mean, let me know in the comment section below of this video. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And when you hit that notification bell, you gotta hit all notifications so that way you can be notified for future Lavon Cason videos and future Lavon Cason live streams. Bye.